My friends, and happy spring equinox. What an incredibly powerful time we are in on the planet right now. Lotus Dawn here. I wanted to come to you with a live update about what is happening astrologically. And there is such a theme of truth being revealed across our planetary body right now. And there's such a theme of mistruths and deceptions being brought to the light. And nowhere is that more apparent actually with astrology today on March 24th, on the day of the equinox. Because all over the world, people are being told that today is the beginning of spring and the first day of Aries. And I have to tell you that according to the Celtic calendar, today the equinox is actually the high point of spring. And in the True the Stars astrological system that I use, today is actually the maybe just beginning of Pisces. And so it's a whole sign back from what the entire collective is being told that the energetic of today is. And so I felt that I have a responsibility to bring you all the most true, most accurate information I can to help you to tune into the truth of who you are and align with the reality of the vibrational frequency that is happening on the earth today. And so what the spring equinox is the high point of the spring. It's the highest peak. And here in the Southern California Canyon Country, you can feel that. It is a potent, powerful, sun-filled day. And it is also the beginning or just the start of Piscean season. And so why is it that the whole world thinks that today is the first day of Aries, while I'm sharing with you that according to the stars, according to if you had a telescope and you were to go outside tonight and look up at the stars, you would actually see the sun is in the constellational sign of Pisces. And so why is that? Why are we using a system that is so outdated and so disconnected from the truth of what is actually there? And so that's why I wanted to create this video, so that I could give you that information, and then you can make up your own mind as to what you think, what you believe, but that I hope to give you the opportunity to have new information that you're not going to find anywhere else. And so why is it that most of the world believes that the sun is in the astrological sign of Aries today? Why is it that Western astrology says that that is true? And so the reason for this is that when Western astrology was created, they didn't know that there was any movement in the structure that they created. They didn't factor in that the stars themselves actually move. And they move backward 1 degree, that's one tiny day back, every 72 years. And so this is a very, very slow process that was easy to ignore. But after 2,000 years, there's a really big difference between what Western astrology says, like today, March 21st, they say the sun is in Aries, versus if you look up at the sky and use a telescope, the constellational sign the sun is in is actually Pisces. And I think that's a pretty big deal. If you're interested in astrology, if you want to know what the energetic of the day is, if you plan your day based on your star chart, and if you want to know about who you are, right? And so thousands of people have been told through Western astrology their whole lives that March 20th, they're an Aries sun sign, right? And so I actually have a ton of clients, including my partner, who thought that they were Aries for most of their life, and then come to find that on the day of their birthday, the sun is actually in the constellation of Pisces, and it will not go into Aries until about April 20th, April 21st. And so this really changes everybody's sun sign, and the sign that they think that they are. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I have to get this information out to you guys, because I've lived my whole life knowing it, because my mom found out about it in the 1980s. She found a very unusual astrologer who knew this information. This is called sidereal astrology. You spell that Sidereal, and it's so much more accurate, and it's so much more tuned in to what is real, what's really happening up in the sky, in the stars. And what I've found doing hundreds, if not thousands of readings by now, is that it is so much more accurate. Every session I do is so aligned to the person I'm working with. To an extreme degree, it's almost spooky. And so if you want to have that kind of spooky accuracy with your astrology reading, then I highly recommend either following me and my work, working with me, or finding another sidereal True the Stars astrologer to work with. And so today, March 20th, the day of the equinox, is, according to the Celtic calendar, not the beginning of spring. The beginning of spring would be February 6th, but rather the high point of spring. And for those of you in the southern hemisphere, the autumnal equinox would actually be the high point of autumn, as opposed to the beginning of autumn. And I find this to be really important for a number of reasons. One is that being in touch with nature, being in touch with the seasons, allows us to plan our lives, to plan, okay, it's going to be spring from here to here. I'm going to take a journey so I can really enjoy it to this location at that time. And I found myself in school noticing, okay, I'm getting ready for summer. They said summer would begin June 21st, and then it would go till about the September for the solstice, or the equinox, the autumnal equinox. And I always found that during summer, when I was a student, it'd start in June, somewhere along the line I'd start feeling like, where's the rest of summer? Where did it all go? I felt like I was going to get this huge amount of summer, and now it's gone, and I don't know where it went. Versus now that I follow the Celtic calendar, they actually say that summer, oh God, it's so beautiful out here, summer does not actually begin, or does begin, on May 1st. And so from May 1st into August 1st is summer. Totally different spread of time, right? You get a whole month extra, which is always super great. So I wanted to come to you live with this information so you could have an opportunity to decide for yourself. Does it feel more like the beginning of summer in Aries today? Or does it feel like, yeah, this could be the high point of spring? And yeah, I could see how the sun could be in Pisces right now as opposed to Aries. I know everyone's going to feel differently here. But I wanted to go into now that we've gotten the truth out onto the table, if you will, of what sign the sun is in, and the fact that right now is a high point of spring and not the beginning, what is happening astrologically, energetically. And the reason I had to explain about the sign that the sun is in so much is because there are so many other planets actually in Pisces as well. And so as we approach the new moon solar eclipse, March 29th, that energy of Pisces is being activated to an extreme degree. And one of the things that's especially noticeable is the fact that we have two of our biggest planets, Mercury, the planet of communication, and Venus, the planet of love and abundance and wealth, both retrograde. And they are retrograde in the sign of Pisces. And I was talking to my mom, who also does astrology, and she was saying, Lotus, what do you think that means? And so I was tuning into, what does it mean? It should be a beautiful energy, because Pisces is the higher octave of love. It's this frequency of spiritual love. It is this energy of intuition. It is the energy of our psychic abilities, our connection to something higher. Pisces is the last zodiacal sign in the astrology wheel. Then the new beginning, of course, starts in Aries. And so everyone on the planet is celebrating that today is the new beginning, the fresh start. We go into Aries energy, which is a fire sign. And they're probably expecting a big shift energetically. Well, there's an issue there because the sun is actually still in Pisces until April 20th. And so what you may notice is instead of the energy on the planet getting more fiery, it's going to be more emotional, more intuitive, more connected to your psychic awareness, your psychic intuition, if you will. And so, as opposed to it being a good time to go out there and start new things and really get moving, you're going to find that this is actually a really good time for setting intentions, for getting in touch with your dreams, for getting in touch for what it is you want to manifest and create into the physical. You may find yourself feeling a little spacey. You may find yourself feeling lost in a haze because Piscean energy is the most dreamy, intuitive sign of the whole zodiac. It is the zodiac of the womb space, the pre-birth phase, and it is also the sign of returning home to the one ocean of all of creation. And so to have so many planets in Pisces, Mercury, the planet of communication, Venus, the planet of love and the heart, all in Pisces, it's sort of a time where we're being guided more into our spirit, guided more into the waters of emotion. And because both Mercury and Venus are retrograde, retrograde always means of the past, and it can mean to redo, to rethink, to take time out, to rejuvenate, to review, to recalibrate. Every single RE word you can think of is very helpful when applying it to a planet that is retrograde. So when you have a planet that is about communication, Mercury, it's about travel and it's about thought. And then you have a planet Venus that is all about love and intimacy and connection and wealth, and they are both retrograde in the sign of Pisces, which is intuition, psychic ability, and sensitivity. We may find that one, it's challenging to figure out what to say. It's almost as though our thought field is swimming in the waters of intuition, and the best way to communicate at this time might be through poetry, might be through art, might be through music, might be through channels of essentially allowing what is there to come through versus trying to force it or think about it logically. And so Pisces energy really invites us to get more in touch with the ephemeral, with the realm of the unseen, with the spiritual intuitive nudges that live within us. And so having so many planets right now in Pisces at a time when the whole collective is saying that the sun has gone into Aries could be creating a little bit of a pattern interrupt or a cognitive dissonance where you're feeling pushed and propelled to take action and be hot and active, but at the same time, you're intuitively more internal. You're more connected to your intuition. And so I would invite you to tune into what sign the sun is really transiting, which is Pisces, and the fact that we have two planets retrograde, one about communication and travel, one about love and the heart. And so I would really recommend to slow down. Slow down the energy might be trying to propel you forwards. I would be careful there because when planets are retrograde, we can also tend to be a little more clumsy. And so the solution to this, of course, is to slow down and to really tune in to what you're feeling, and also tune into what you're aware of. With so many planets in Pisces, and with the sun actually exactly conjunct Neptune today, Neptune, the planet that rules Pisces, the Neptune, the higher octave of Venus, Neptune, the energy of dreams and intuition and psychic channeling. We are incredibly psychic right now. We are incredibly open and aware. We are incredible divine conduits for source energy to flow through us. And so I want to invite you, instead of feeling like pressured to go out there and make stuff happen and be actively energetic, to instead slow down and get in tune with your own self and really listen to your own heart and really listen to the whispers of the past, from past communications, past psychic encounters, past relationships, because the universe, with both Mercury and Venus retrograde, are inviting us to heal. They are inviting us to go within. And so it's really important right now to take that time to really collectively tune in to what we're being shown. It's a good time to paint, it's a good time to draw, it's a good time to listen to the quiet voice within. And no time is it more important than right now, as we currently have the destiny point of the entire collective, Saturn, the planet of structure, Neptune, the higher octave of Venus, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus, all in Pisces right now, leading up to a new moon that is happening on March 29th, in 9 days from now. And so the moon, as we approach a new moon, is in its balsamic phase. It is going within, it is shedding its layers. It is the most internal time of the entire lunar cycle. And so as we approach this new moon with all of these planets in Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, we're being asked to let go. And what does Pisces ask? Pisces asks us, can you let go? Can you surrender to the flow of creation? Can you allow yourself to be like the stream that flows into the river, and to be like the river that flows to the ocean? Can you allow your heart and your mind and your thoughts and your worries to dissolve into the giant oneness of creation? And allow the world and all of its forms and all of its confusions and expectations and ideas, and allow the loud noises of that external world to melt away, to fade away, and instead turn your focus, turn your awareness, turn your sensitivity towards you and towards the glorious voice of creation that sings with you. To go outside into nature, to hear the sound of the insects and the birds, to quiet the mind and get back into resonance with who you really are. Because with so many planets in Pisces, there's so much water, there's so much chaos and confusion, there's very little stability, especially with Saturn going into Pisces, Saturn being the planet of structure and Pisces being the intuitive flow, and Neptune, the planet that rules Pisces, actually being in Pisces itself with the sun, with Mercury, our thought field in water, our heart in water, our structure in water. There's so much water, and so we may be feeling destabilized, we may be feeling adrift, we may be feeling lost in our dreams, or lost in confusions or delusions or imaginations. And so how do we find our way through this? Is that we must turn our attention towards our dreams of what we do want. We must turn our attention towards the subtle nudges and whispers of our higher self, and quiet the noise. Turn off the TV, turn off the news. Get in touch with your intuition. Pray, meditate, sing, dance, trust, let go and surrender. Because Pisces is the flow, and there's so much energy directing us to allowing that flow to guide us towards our highest and best outcome. And so I have so much more to share with you about this upcoming new moon eclipse happening March 29th. I have more information I can share with you about the planets and what signs that they are in. And I have so much more information about what Mercury and Venus retrograde really mean and what that might be bringing up for all of us. So please like, follow, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And please share in the comments what you thought of this video. Please share what you think about the fact that the sun is actually in the constellation of Pisces right now, not in Aries. And please share if you have any questions or desires about future videos, what you would like to hear about, what you would like to learn about. I'm at your service, coming here from nature, from the light of the sun, and from my own heart. I truly love sharing this information. I think it changes lives, and I love giving readings as it tends to be a huge gift to help us to align to who we truly are based on the map of the stars that we are given at birth. So biggest love from my heart to yours, from the blessing of the dawning and the blossoming of this full spring equinox, the high point of the spring, the celebration of the earth. Biggest love and aloha to you all.